Magic just wants to be happy again. Now, can you imagine if this happened in Cleveland? If your general manager, without telling anybody, not a soul, not even Jeannie Buss, his boss. And when they said to him, why didn't you tell Jeannie Buss? He said, I was afraid I'd start crying if I told her. Now, come on! I mean, what kind of bullshit is that?
You don't think LeBron didn't have anything to do with that?
No. Not only do I think he had nothing to do with it, I think nobody knew. I think Magic is one of those guys who could survive HIV, but not Jeannie Buss. That's what I think.
LeBron was too busy booking a flight to Miami to see his old buddy Dwayne.
Yeah, did that come out of my mouth? I'm sorry, folks.
Maybe he found her snook.
Sensitive, you know.
Maybe he found her snook.
No, it looks to me as if Magic's, since his diagnosis, Magic's neck has disappeared. That's one thing. And the other thing I've noticed is obviously his spirit and heart has gone to hell too.
Yeah.
Weepy Magic. This is the guy who loved to play basketball. And you know what he discovered? Oh, he may be a good businessman because he bought a bunch of movie theaters and all in the inner city, and good for Magic. He's probably as good a general manager as he was a late night talk show host.
Right.
You know, he wasn't any good. 37-45. Let me put this into perspective for all of you. The year is 2003, and a 19-year-old LeBron James comes to play in Cleveland. And this is what he's presented with, by golly. The Tony Battie, Carlos Boozer, the eventual trader, forgotten J.R. Bremer, Kedrick Brown, Mateen Cleaves. Mateen Cleaves, wow. I mean, talk about a shot putter who had, you know, then Ricky Davis. We know where wrong way Davis ended up. Sagana Diop. Why did we draft him?
Because nobody could spell his name.
Zydrunas Ilgauskas. He's not so good anymore. Jason Capono. If I stand out here and nobody guards me, I might make this. And I did go to UCLA, by goddamn shit. Fuck. Jelani McCoy. Who? Jeff McInnis. Oh, I kind of remember him. Chris the Amazing Mim, a member for the University of Texas.
I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say.
What am I going to say?
That team had a better record than the fucking Lakers do this year.
No, but you're on the right track. Lee Nailon. Oh, Darius Miles. We can't forget Darius. Lee Nailon, the guy who wore more stuff on his knee than any player I ever saw in my life. Ira Newble, who left his jump shot in Atlanta. Kevin Ollie, who has since moved on to get fired at every coaching job he's ever held and got in trouble. Michael Stewart, who I don't remember. Bruno Sundov, a 7'2" center, who now is working for the Carnival as part of a freak show. DeJuan Wagner, who left half of his stomach in New Jersey. And Eric Williams.
Wow.
But this was the team. And that team went, record-wise, 35-47.
Oh, two less wins.
2-game difference than LeBron, established LeBron's, and all these picks, all these draft picks that the Lakers already have made.
Breach.
And look what happened to him. So Magic says, and that's the end of that. I mean, they're still going to love him in Los Angeles? My God, I think Jack Nicholson had a stroke.
So do you think Magic Johnson is leaving like that? Do you think that's people are going to think he's a quitter?
I just think that why was he hired in the first place besides this stupid notion of public relations? I mean, if this happened in Cleveland, all right, it's like Jeannie Buss, worst owner in the NBA. She's squandering LeBron James. This could be the worst ownership in the history of the NBA as far as I'm concerned. Here she is, and she says, you know, I'm going to do something that's really going to make the fans love me. I'm going to bring Magic back. And then Magic says, you know, my judgment is a lot better since I acquired the human immunovirus, whatever fuck. What is it? What does HIV stand for? Human
immunovirus.
There you go. Since I acquired that, I think there's only one thing more deadly. That would be Rob Pelinka. I'm gonna hire him. I'm the president. He's the GM. Neither of us has ever done the job before. And geez, I wonder what's going to happen. Oh yeah, but don't worry, we got LeBron. LeBron, meanwhile, gets to town and goes, yeah. It's like,
looks like I get to start my retirement party a little early this year.
My God, it's like I left this clown show behind me in Cleveland. I didn't think it could possibly get worse. So, 37 and 45 record, for Luke Walton. And now he's gone. Of course, we knew because he looked like the Maytag repairman on the bench. I mean, he had that long lost look like I'm screwed. And he was.
But half of that is genetic.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Who's a better coach, Byron Scott or Luke Walton?
Byron Scott.
If you don't believe it, ask him.
Yeah, Byron Scott.
Yeah, well, I would say
just a worse record than Walton did. He had a worse record.
Byron Scott was the worst coach.
Not in totality, though.
Yeah, but the thing about Byron Scott is that, he had a lot of Hugh Jackson in him now, didn't he?
You up the ass.
Oh, yeah. God almighty. This guy he'd go on talking about his playing days.
He coached a couple teams to the playoffs, though, right?
Yeah, but he also had the biggest playoff loss in history when he lost by 50 points, and that's how he lost the New Orleans franchise, And it's like the ownership said, I think we have to go into a different direction. So here you have the Lakers. So I guess do the buses have to bus? Do fish gotta swim and birds gotta fly? Yeah. I don't know. The Lakers have become a laughingstock. Yeah. But then it's not enough. When you see a team in your state trying to steal the mantle of most incompetent, Sacramento stands up and says, damn it, we will not be beaten. Sacramento? I don't know. The Kings got a Kings. I don't know. Vlade fucking Divac. Okay? Yeah. Okay.
Mr. Flopper?
Well, you got to admit, Mr. Moohead, Sacramento had a pretty good season this year. 39 wins is pretty amazing.
They fired the coach!
After 3 years of losing.
Jaeger led them to a 39-43 season, their best season since 2005.
So they bombed Jaeger?
No, Jaeger bombs. That'd be the headline of the paper. Has to be.
Jaeger was Meistered. So, I mean, listen.
But at least he wasn't Goldschlagered.
There you go.
Here's the deal. They just extended Vlade Divac until 2022-2023. Why? I have no idea. Listen to what he has done in just the last couple of years to help his franchise. He selected Willie Cauley-Stein with the 6th pick of the 2015 NBA draft.
Who?
Willie Cauley-Stein. Now, Willie Cauley-Stein from Kentucky, you'll remember him because he's not going to make it past his rookie contract. All right?
Swing and a miss.
They traded Nick Stauskas, current Cleveland Cavalier, 2 first-round pick swaps, and an unprotected 2019 first-rounder to the Sixers for essentially nothing but cap space. And then, what did they do with the cap space? They got Rajon Rondo, Costa Koufos, and Marco Bellinelli.
Oh, my God.
Swing and a miss.
Yeah, Costa
Well, at one point they did have Rudy Gay trying to help, and then they brought in I'm not Rudy Gay. Well, it was Rudy Gay, and then who else did they bring in? George Hill.
Yeah, I mean, they've tried every bad thing you could try. In 2016, he fired George Karl, and he hired Jägermeister, all right? And the first thing he did to help Jaeger out was acquire Georgios Papagiannis with the 13th pick of the draft after trading back from the 8th pick. What is a Georgios Papagiannis? It sounds like a pizza franchise in Greece.
Wait a minute, who trades down in the NBA draft? I mean, what is the point? There's only like 3 good players every year anyway.
Yeah, well, ask Vlade. Well, we did not like the. No, we didn't like the 8th pick, so we went with the Papagiannis in the 13th. Yeah, go ahead.
Mr. Muhead, to be fair, though, Sacramento's not a destination for any superstar to go to. So he's only dealing with the cards that he's dealt with, right?
No, he's incompetent. We will continue. He traded DeMarcus Cousins, amongst others, to the Pelicans for Buddy Hield, the first-round pick that became the 10th overall in the upcoming draft, okay? And he did select De'Aaron Fox, who's becoming a good player, all right? Yep. And he selected in 2018 Marvin Bagley III, all right? But he passed on Luka Doncic, okay? For Marvin Bagley III.
True.
Because he couldn't get the second or the first, I guess.
But some of these players, you don't know if they're going to be a hit or a miss, like the Kristaps Porzingis pick. Like when the Knicks picked him at, 4? Everybody thought that was a bad pick. Ended up turning to be out a great pick,
For the Mavericks. But, I mean, the bottom line is this. The Kings got a Kings. They're an inept organization with an owner who's a dim-witted fool who has extended a general manager.
Is that still the Maloofs?
No, I think Maloof is dead. I forget the owner's name. You can look him up. He's a moron. And the fact is, anybody who would have extended Vlade Divac is a complete fool. And so only they could steal the headlines, okay?
Maybe
inept Lakers.
Next.
I'm not defending Sacramento. I'm just saying that Sacramento, for the last 10 years, has not been a top destined franchise for players to go to. I mean, that dates all the way back since the 02-03 Western Conference Finals Kings, when they had Weber and Divac and Williams, and they were a decent team to watch. But Sacramento is just a small market. No superstar is going to want to wave their hand and say, I would like to go there to play.
Of course not. But the thing is that this is when you're 39 and 43. We'll put this in perspective. In LeBron's second year in Cleveland, they were 42 and 40. Okay. And they made the playoffs. So where has Sacramento been? If 39 and 43 represents your high water mark since 2005, that's 14 years of a flaccid penis.
Yeah.
I mean, you would think with all the picks that they would have by being so bad for so long that they would get better. And when they finally get better to the point where they were actually contending for the final spot, the 8th spot over, in the West, they fell off at the end of the year. They fire the coach, and now they got to start all over again. Now, what coaches are out there who are going to want to go to Sacramento? Jaeger at least was a winner in Memphis. He at least proved that he could win.
They got to go out and find their own John Dorsey.
Yeah. See, for me, I'm just saying, if this were Cleveland, the things that would be said would be just laughingstock kind of stuff.
It'd be like a Cleveland Brown treatment.
Yeah. It'd just be the laughingstock of sports. And nobody's pressing this hard enough. These teams are really fucking up. And the Lakers have this incredible ability to bring fans in and to bring free agents in, and it doesn't seem to matter. And when they didn't get Anthony Davis, it's like everything went to hell. It's like the emperor wears no clothes. They can't get their choice of free agents now.
Preach.
And they are not relevant. The players don't play defense.
You don't see KD or anybody, Kyrie or nobody going to help LeBron next year? Or do you see them doing their own thing?
All right. Let me ask you, Stephen, because I don't know if you understand how deep the water is in Los Angeles. Who is the favorite to become the new coach of the LA Lakers?
Tyronn Lue.
Ty Lue. That's right. Tyronn Lue.
Well, if he gets
I read
hired,
that and I about fell out of my chair.
I mean, here's a guy who can only coach veterans, has no idea how to coach young players, and who had to pull out of the game for health reasons because the pressure was too great in Cleveland. What the fuck's he going to do under the microscope in Los Angeles?
Vomit more blood.
And why is it? Why? Yeah. Why is it the more excited I become, the more I sound like Joe Pesci?
Why is it?
No,
Fuck you. What the drive-through?
fucking asshole! You don't fucking fire the goddamn coach. Yeah, I find myself Pesciing.
Maybe you'll get a cameo on Space Jam 2 next year.
You know, it's amazing. So now we want to have interest in a coach who quit for health reasons, and and it's like, oh yeah, and we know that he can because he sat on the bench while LeBron won a championship in Cleveland. He's the new Mike Brown. Okay, why don't you just hire Mike Brown while you're at it? I mean, do that for a third time, Lakers. Why the hell not? At this point,
Magic quits. They hire Tyronn Lue. No free agent's going to want to go there.
No. And with Rob Pelinka in there, why would anybody want to go there? And they're not going to end up with anybody any good anyway. I mean, do you really think that Rob Pelinka didn't bow to LeBron's wishes? I mean, why would you end up with Rondo, who's hurt half the time and still bricks everything he throws up from the perimeter? Why would you end up with a group of players, this assemblage of awful players that why? And the answer is, well, LeBron always liked to have certain veterans on the roster, but I think LeBron assumed that the young guys could play. Absolute wrong assumption. Unbelievable.
So, if he thought he was going to get David Griffin, forget about that. He went to the Pelicans.
Do you realize that every team that LeBron has played for made the playoffs and eventually won a championship? Okay? That's what's on the line for the Lakers. Will they be the first franchise? And Jeannie Buss. Oh, I didn't know that LeBron was going to age. They're going to turn him into fucking media Methuselah. You watch. That's what they're going to do. Man, I mean, it's fucked up. Huh?
Mr. Muhead, some Lakers fans feel like they're that Jeannie Buss is using the Lakers organization to help LeBron promote himself for Space Jam and everything else. That he's not really there for basketball.
Oh no! I mean, look. LeBron still had the similar stats that he had when he was playing for Cleveland and Miami. This is not like the Boston Braves hiring Babe Ruth when he couldn't even run anymore. This isn't that to put butts in the seats and all this. No, Jeannie Buss is just not a successful owner, and Dr. Jerry was. All right. I mean, it's just that simple. I mean, we've seen it in Cleveland. We've had some bad owners, and we still have one. All right, we're not out of the woods yet, folks.
I'd say we have 3 bad owners, but anyway.
At least we have a qualified general manager. But one of the things that is famous for bad owners to do is to hire really bad general managers, and this is the Jeannie Buss pattern that we're looking at. And Luke Walton had no business. I mean, Luke Walton wasn't ready as a coach to step in and do, and I'm not going to say bad things about Luke because I understand he's a nice fella. I'm not, not like his father who doesn't understand. Yeah, it's like, I thought the Symbionese Liberation Army was military service. Yeah, stupid ass. His son's supposed to be a nice guy. But not equipped for what was in front of him, for the job at hand. No. But when the defense is allowed to play more handsy defense and slows the pace of the game down, it becomes more physical. Those teams can get, if I were to say which teams, seriously, Stephen, which teams are the most likely to get upset, it would be teams that live and die by the 3-point ball, because they're going to be driven off the line, and you're not going to be rewarded for going to the hoop when you're driven off the 3 line, and it's going to become more physical. And then the league takes over too and allows one team to play more physically aggressive than another.
And the Rockets dropped to 4, which means they'll face Golden State in round 2.
Nah, it's not a good thing.
Finals.
But you can never take the Rockets seriously. I mean, Harden is a choker par excellence, and he'll win the MVP, and that's as good as it's going to get for him. And, he can be a prolifically exciting player to watch. I understand that. But to be honest with you, he can also be a train wreck out there, and he doesn't know what to do when his shot isn't falling except continue to chuck bad shots up. He's hard-headed, and that he couldn't win it with Durant. So if you have, a big 3 that Oklahoma City had, you couldn't win,
Right.
With those 3 players, shit. I don't look at Harden as a guy who's going to carry you over any more than I see LeBron James as a guy anymore. I think he gave his last legs pulling Cleveland over.
And Mr. Moohead, are you looking any forward to the NBA playoffs? I was wondering if we could do maybe a little segment on that, or if there's anything you want to put into it, because I'm a little excited for this weekend.
I really don't care.
Is there any particular matchup that you're looking forward to?
No, I don't really care about it at all. It's a lot like the I think the early rounds are better because at least some teams, whenever a team like the Cavaliers go from being the best in the East to the worst, right? Mm-hmm. Or the second worst, there's going to be teams that ascend. So at least we're seeing a few different teams in there. I
like the Nets going up against the Sixers, the 36 matchup, and also Orlando in the mix facing Milwaukee. Do you see any Cinderellas in this matchup here? Do you see any upsets at the 7-8 matchups? Clippers, I think, taking on Warriors, and Spurs at 7 are taking on Denver.
I'm going to try to say this in a different language. I don't give a fuck. That would be I mean, really, I don't care.
I think Steven's the only one who wants to discuss the NBA playoffs. The rest of us really could not give a fuck.
It's the same thing you would have gotten from me about, you want to talk about the NCAA tournament? And it's like...
Okay, well, let me ask you a better question. Who do you got coming out of the East? I know everybody on the panel is going to say Warriors for the West. So who do y'all got coming out of the East?
Somebody's going to finish second to the Warriors.
Yeah, whoever comes out is losing in the Warriors in 4 or 5 games anyways. So.
Here's the way I look at it.
Fucking move on to next season.
Can Philadelphia win a big series, or is Giannis really hurt? What is the story? Those are the 2 teams who are the best teams in the East, but that doesn't necessarily mean they'll be the best teams in the playoffs, because people choke in the playoffs all the time. And does it really matter? No, because it'll come and it'll go.